Assalamu alaikum, ladies and gentlemen. Today's session is about the latest intervention of AI in the era of 2026. But the most important thing that with the boom of AI or involvement of AI in every aspect of our life, teaching and learning, these are the two basic key uh, features of our life which got very much influenced as well as just by the introduction of AI in it. Usually जो perception आता है वो ये आता है कि learning is becoming more difficult and non-relevant, and especially AI is trying to make our student dumb because students are not properly utilizing it, and they are trying to use it as the substitute of their own brain, so they have stopped using their own brain. But different researches had shown that if the AI has been used appropriately and use it in a way that it helps in enhancing the learning, it will be a very good thing. And there are ways that we can involve AI in a positive way in our educational institutes and in our learning process for both teachers as well as students. We will start this session with the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I would request Naveed Qasim to come up on the stage and recite few verses from Holy Quran.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. والسماء والطارق وما أدراك ما الطارق النجم الثاقب إن كل نفس لما عليها حافظ فلينظر الإنسان مما خلق من ماء دافق يخرج من بين الصلب والترائب إنه على رجعه لقادر يوم تبلى السرائر صدق الله العظيم.
Jazakallah Naveed, thanks a lot. Dr. Jamaluddin is basically the HOD of AI department here in RIFA School of Computing Innovation, and he has a lot of experience in teaching, and he is actively working with the students as well as the faculty of RSI to to basically motivate or guide the students and teachers how to involve AI in our daily routine in such a way that it becomes our support or a tool for us to use it for our ease and comfort. And he is basically working in this field when from some past few years and have a lot of experience. Today he's going to discuss about the teaching and learning in the era of AI, and hopefully he will guide us as well as he will light on a few very latest researches which has been going on throughout the world, and enlighten us about this very important topic of these days. Jazakumullah khair. Please, sir, come up on the stage.
ठीक है. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Thank you very much, all of you. And I was reading a lot of literature on this topic from the last few months, and I come across different models of the universities that what they are adopting in the era of AI in the perspective of teaching and learning. So I got some very good information, some very well organized policies that I think we should all aware of that first of all. And these practices, these guidelines are nowadays part of a classical university faculty member life. So about this session, before going to the session, most of you people are familiar about my profile, but I am actively engaged with these organizations currently. This session, what are the main components of today's session? First, I will highlight what are the perspective of AI, and particularly on the writing perspective of our teaching and learning. Because with the arrival of large language models and the generative AI, our writing domain really changed nowadays. Then we will focus on how the role of student is evolved in this new era. What the student have to change in their way of learning, and then we will highlight some teaching perspective, that how the teachers should now perform their lectures, prepare their lectures, assess the students' performances. So a process-oriented approach of teaching we will discuss. Then the main challenge is to assess the student documents, student submitted documents. So how we will assess the AI assisted writing, what are the best practices going on globally, and then we will summarize the discussion by adopting some list of strategies, that these are the common strategies nowadays in AI blended classrooms. And I will also present some classroom activities that will enhance the teaching and learning perspective. So let me clear something about this session. This session is only some sort of exploration of this era. We are exploring this landscape. It actually combines the current researches, what are the global teaching strategies, and what are the best classroom activities going on nowadays for instructors. So the objective is not to get the final answer, the exact solution, but it is surely a starting point. It is surely start thinking about writing, learning, academic integrity in the age where AI can respond in seconds. So these are the learning outcomes of today's session, that we will try to describe the generative AI impact on university education, learning and student engagement. We will identify some effective pedagogical strategies for integrating AI into higher education domains. We will also evaluate some ethical challenges in the academic integrity concerns and the responsible use of AI. And we will at the end design some AI supported learning environments that will promote critical thinking and meaningful student learning. So before going into the main topics, I will give you an overview of the session, so that we have a scope of what we will hear today. So the generative AI is now entered in the classrooms, university classroom, and with a remarkable speed. Now it has challenged mostly those instructors which have writing material in their courses, for example programming, for example problem solving. So this raises a new question, that how we should teach the writing document in which AI can generate code, it can explain the code, it can give you, the student can get technical reports, even student can come up with complete solution using the AI. So this colloquium will gather some emerging research on this perspective. What are the instructions in practical form for instructors? Because instructors and teachers are nowadays thinking of how we will address AI in their courses. So the goal is not to give you a full solution, a comprehensive solution, because the area is still in flux. The area is evolving, the AI tools are evolving, the strategies are evolving, the technologies are evolving, the policies are still in flux. So we will not give you a comprehensive framework, rather it is an overview of current thinking, what is going on at moment in the world, because this field, this technology is evolving, the policies are evolving so rapidly. So currently, what are the classroom ideas, what the instructors can explore? So the activities we will discuss here are just a starting point if you are not using these strategies. Uh, so teachers and instructors can modify them. They can even ignore them according to the, if they are not fulfilling the student need, if they are not in line with your course outcomes, and you can even adopt these strategies if it align with your learning outcomes, if it align with your student need, you can adopt. So we will provide some small sample of strategies, and if you are interested in more similar strategies, I also provide some additional strategies at the end with in the references. So this portion we actually highlight the growing research, what are the best practices, and definitely when instructor start adopting AI enabled teaching learning strategies, the instructor will start exploring this area, and he will get more experience about how to use AI effectively in the classroom. So it is a hope that this session is useful if you start navigating in this area and you are going to integrate AI in your teaching and learning. So the first component of our talk is about AI and writing. The area which AI majorly disrupted is the content, summaries, reports, the text generation. This aspect is mostly affected. Now the researchers they start doing research on how AI tools affect the student writing. Before AI, how the students were writing their assignments, writing their tasks, and now how they are developing their writing tasks. So AI support in the early learning. Early learning means that students start understanding the concept, students start learning about a topic, and what he do in the start, he start by communicating with AI, generative AI, on generating ideas, on making an outline of some topics, and sometimes formulates their sentences, drafting. So this, in the start of their learning, the student think AI as a linguistic tool. So rather than replacing the whole document, rather than taking whole assignment from the whole task from the AI, students only focus on some examples, some outlines. So this AI tool normally only student consult for their drafting. So this function of AI is like language support, in which there are some grammar dictionaries, writing centers, but the point is that the generative AI will produce the content which is grammatically correct, linguistically fine, and very good, very structured response. But the point is that the reasoning inside the content will be superficial, sometimes very weak, because the systems, the AI systems, they generate text for you people. They look like that it is academically very sophisticated, very well organized structure, but the arguments, they are weak, they are not reliable, rather fake. So because the AI generated text, they follow a pattern of the language, so only generate the sentences, they may contain an information which is factually inaccurate, which is false information, and without any real resources. So what is where AI reasoning falls short, where AI is not performing well? The point is that AI is producing the text based on the pattern of the text, based on the predictions of the next word, of the next sentence, of the next paragraph, rather than retrieving you the verified information what you are previously practicing from Google, that you are asking something and Google is providing you in the search engines some verified sources, some verified reports, papers, books. But here, despite of giving you verified information, it is just giving you a language. So what is the result? In the result, it gives you some citations and claims that are not credible, they are not valid. This is called hallucination. Now, this sort of situation, the researchers start doing research on these environments, and they emphasize that this generative AI should not be taken as simple as a writing tool. We should not take it as a writing tool. Rather, it is a discursive phenomena. We should ask student to use it analytically, not just as a helping writing assistant. So we should ask student to use this as an interactive tool, not just finding the final output. We should ask students to challenge the output of the AI. They should question the authority of AI generated content, and they should not take the output for granted. They should not assume that the what output they are getting from the AI is a reliable knowledge. So this strategy of asking your system students to be interactive with AI, so it will reinforce the students that you have to analyze the argument, you have to interact with your AI, you have to evaluate the evidence what AI is providing to you, and you have to construct your own interpretations. You are not emphasize on what output you get from the AI. Now, the courses you should design like this, that it should have the portion of analysis of the AI generated text, rather than getting the complete answer or passive active role you have to play. Now, how the student will examine the output? We should ask the student to learn how to examine the AI generated text, and the text particularly which is linguistically correct, grammatically perfect, but intellectually it is weak, intellectually it fails. So how the student will compare the response of AI with human generated response? So they become more aware of the intellectual perspective, they will more aware about the importance of evidence, importance of the source of the knowledge, and importance of the logic building in the sentences. Now, so the journey starts from the students. That first of all, you have to teach, you have to train your students that how to use AI responsibly. So the first portion is that every teacher should have a session with their students on how AI is generating text that are not like search engines. So this generative AI have become more visible in educational context, and we should provide a clear instruction, explicit instructions to students that how these systems are functioning, how they get the input, how they process the input, how they generate the output. This comes in the domain of AI literacy. And there are a number of subtopics in AI literacy. So what is AI literacy? It is the ability to use AI responsibly while recognizing the limitations of AI. Students should know the strengths of AI and also the limitations of AI. So when students start interacting with AI, they think that the response I am getting is reliable, is correct. Because the language is so authoritative, the language is so perfect, the language is so well structured, the student think that it is the output I am getting is reliable. So student should not only learn how to interpret the human authored text, for example, the text present in books, and the student should also evaluate the text produced from the automated systems. So AI systems, generative AI tools are not like search engines. The search engines retrieve some existing information to you from the existing reliable, credible sources to you. Whereas the generative AI models, they generate new text, they generate new knowledge. And how? Because they predict the sequence of word, the sequence of sentences. How? Based on the patterns on which it is trained. So the instructor role is to help and facilitate students so that student can recognize that the AI generated text is nothing but a statistical pattern of the language, statistical pattern of the text. It is not the alternative of verified knowledge. So this text may be a plausible, linguistically perfect, but it is not a verified knowledge. So if student can distinguish between these things, what is verified knowledge and what is grammatically, linguistically perfect piece of text, so student will start thinking analytically. If he will be more cautious about the outputs he is getting from AI. Another dimension of AI literacy is the practice of prompting. So prompting is the language of AI. Prompting is what AI tools understand. So practice of prompting is also comes in the domain of AI literacy. We should ask the users how we instruct the AI tool and how much the output depend on the type of instructions. If you change the instructions for a similar task, you will get a different output. So this practice of prompting will help the student to communicate effectively with computational system. So this interaction with prompts of the students and responses, prompt response, it will become an opportunity for learning for students. So rather than treating AI as question answer tool, student begin to understand that the output depend on the instructions. The output of the system depend on the prompt. So students should understand these things. Whatever instruction you provide, it will give you the output according to that. Now, what are the ethical perspective, transparency issues. Now, universities are so concerned about these things because the students are providing the documents and claiming that this is developed by me. Even if they don't claim, the universities and the teachers assume that this is actual work of student. So transparency is the challenge because the students are using AI tools in their writing process. And now is what the institutions are doing, what the universities are doing, they are asking the student to acknowledge, to write which tool you have used, how much you have used, for which purpose you have used. So this acknowledgement of generative systems is used, for example, he have used for brainstorming, whether he has used for revision of their content or drafting of the document. Every student should acknowledge it. This is the main thing. Similarly, these sort of policies, transparency policies, these are made because there is a concern of authorship. There is a concern of academic integrity because the machines are generating text and we are mistakenly assuming that this is human text. So this actually raises concerns. So we should ask students that rather than rely on AI to produce any essay, so instructors should design activities in which the AI generated text become the object of analysis, object of criticism. So AI generative tools, these become a resource of critical engagement rather than getting a shortcut of completing your assignments. So this will encourage students to treat AI as a source that must be questioned, that must be evaluated. They will not get the answers without confirming, without verifying. They will think that the answer can be wrong, the answer can be challenged, the answer of the AI can be questioned. We cannot trust automatically.
What kind of activities do you think would be better? Because right now, I don't think that students are merely using it for brainstorming or drafting. They are completely dependent on it. You're saying that they produce documents, actually, they just copy paste it. So they are not aware how harmful this act is for them, that they are just training the AI model, not learning themselves. So what do you suggest, like in programs, if in the programs in the which are focused on writing, okay, we can take a document and then analyze it, but in other programs, what activity do you suggest would be suitable to tell students that this act of merely copy pasting is not suitable for learning?
Okay. There is a framework for this purpose in which there is a level from 1 to 5 that these sort of learning activities should be prohibited for the use of AI, and there are certain activities that students should use AI. So I will explain the next slide that framework of 5 levels. Okay. So now come to the teaching perspective, that how the role of teachers is evolved, how they will teach in the AI enabled environment. So in the era of AI supported writings, AI tools often appear within the technological mediated courses because before AI, the students are already engaged with technological mediated courses. For example, they are already using some digital tools, programming tools, data analysis tool, graphic designing tools. So they are already communicating with some digital software systems. So in these systems, now there is a perspective of AI. For example, if you are using Mendeley, now there is a button of AI. If you are using any other software, even the programming tools, every programming tool have now a feature of AI. So it means before AI, the students are already learning from digital technological mediated courses, the courses in which already there is technology involved, courses in which already you are interacting with computer systems. So they are now just adding an extra feature. The AI is not is just an additional resource for them, because student can just use them for their language needs. So what should be an ideal course? It should emphasize on process oriented writing. It should emphasize on collaborative and frequent feedback strategy. Now, what is the step-by-step process of teaching? In this model, the researchers say that the universities, the departments, the teachers, those adopt this step-by-step process are getting more benefit of the AI-enabled classrooms. What is the step-by-step process? That you are not getting the student task, student output as the final output. You are taking that assignment, that output in steps. What is the first step? You are asking the student to revise your document with multiple times. You are not taking the assignment once. कि आपने assignment दी और मैंने assignment ले ली, आपने homework दिया और मैंने homework ले लिया. This step should be repeated multiple times. Okay, so what are the strategies? You should ask them to discuss with your peers. Students should submit, before submitting, you should discuss with your peers, and they should reflect on their development. That this document is not developed at once. कोई assignment पूरी की पूरी एकदम तैयार नहीं होती. उसमें कोई टास्क होते हैं, सब टास्क होते हैं, कुछ स्टार्ट में परफॉर्म करने होते हैं. So how the ideas, how the topics are formatted. So rather than focusing on the final product, that what is the output, these step-by-step teaching strategies highlight the process through which the argument is constructed. So teacher will develop these strategies. He will develop the practice that students should reflect on their ideas. The teacher will change their teaching strategies with the digital environments. So now what is happening? The output is not important. The process is important. So because the output, the generative AI is producing in seconds, the output is not important. The process is important, that how you develop this document. Because if you instruct that submit the draft, submit the document, so AI will easily produce the document. It will resemble your academic standard, and language wise it will be good. But if the instruction is not to submit document, the instruction is now stepwise, that what you have to do, first of all, draft, bring initial draft, then you could give some revision. Don't accept the assignment in once. You give some revisions. Okay, go back and incorporate the revisions. Then there is a discussion phase. Okay, you do the revisions, now discuss with your peers. Okay, then when you discuss with your peer, the next stage is now reflect. Now talk about your project, talk about your assignment. So the learning become visible now. And keep in mind, the AI is still there. AI is still in their assignments. But now the assignment you are getting is now in stepwise. Don't accept. Now ask them, the first step will be draft, then revisions, then discussion, then reflection. So this portion, drafting, revision, discussion, reflection, this AI cannot replace. ये ChatGPT नहीं कर सकता. ठीक है? So this is what you have to do. So instructors, the teachers, they have to reshape your working style, and they should adopt the process-oriented approach of the teaching. What is the process-oriented approach? Because in the assignments, in the feedbacks, in the outputs you are getting from the students, it should involve different steps like brainstorming stages, draft stages, peer discussion stages, revision cycles, so that student can engage actively in the process. They should engage in their ideas. They should engage with their document. rather than simply presenting. मैं अपना presentation दे रहा हूँ, मैं अपना assignment submit करा रहा हूँ. Despite of this, there are number of stages. Okay, first brainstorm. Okay, then submit the first draft, then revise draft, then discussion session, then reflection session. So this will actually make the student interactive with his own content. So the AI is still there. AI is still there. They produce the content from AI, but in this step-by-step process, student will start analyzing, student will start criticizing, and they will revise rather than submitting unchanged. बना लिया है और submit करा दिया है. ये एक काम होता है. ठीक है जी.
Ultimately, it means that we have to go for the one assignment for one semester only. We can't go for the 4 assignment for each student, and if you have 100 student in a 2 or 3 classes, and you have to do a repeating session for the brainstorming, analysis, and other sessions. So it means this is a very almost impossible.
No.
If you go for a assignment, one big assignment for the entire semester, and you go for the phases of that assignment.
Okay.
I think this would be possible. Otherwise, 4 assignments, 6 quizzes, all things should not be.
Okay, let me explain. I told you that similar question was about the miss. I told you that it depends on your learning outcomes. If your learning outcomes is that some sort of intellectual self reflections, that should be engaged like this. So it depends on what is the learning outcome of your assignment. Okay, so I will explain in the later that what is your learning outcome, how much AI is allowed. You should not prohibit AI everywhere, that AI is something you cannot use. No, there are some learning outcomes in which you can allow the AI. There are some blended learning outcomes in which you can allow the integration of AI and human. So okay, now what is the online platforms? Before AI, in COVID and other special situations, we go for online learning. Now the online teaching and learning is already a practice which is already present before AI, long before AI. So the online tools are designed that they promote collaborative effort. For example, if you use Google Drives, if you use cloud environments, so a single document is engaged with multiple students. Multiple students can give their feedbacks, and similarly, digital feedback systems, collaborative writing tools, they are already part of digital online environments. So this is also one of the way, and there are researches that analyze this whole teaching, online teaching, digital teaching, and they emphasize that that learning become more when these environments become technology mediated. If, for example, you use the online tools, Zoom or Teams, etc. Now, what is the research on online and technology mediated teaching learning? It shows that the courses that are more effective when they focus on the process of teaching and learning rather than final product alone. The digital platforms, they are made easier for instructors to observe how students develop ideas across draft, respond to feedback, collaborative peers. ये जितना प्रोसेस स्टेप बाय स्टेप टीचिंग का है, उसमें ऑनलाइन प्लेटफॉर्म्स, ऑनलाइन टीचिंग जो टूल्स हैं वो ऑलरेडी इसमें इनरिच हैं. तो ये जो सारे स्टेप्स हैं, ड्राफ्ट्स, फीडबैक्स, कोलैबोरेशन विद पीयर्स, ये आप ऑनलाइन प्लेटफॉर्म्स में बड़ी आसानी से कर सकते हैं. So it will encourage students to view the learning as intellectual activity rather than assignment. So the online teaching is different from traditional classroom activities. A successful course should redesign the learning tasks. What are the redesigning strategies? That you should interact with text, peers, instructors. So the digital tools are already present. They allow to students to experiment with drafting, revisions, peer interactions. Now, what will happen if you put stages in their assignments? So it is not confined to the final assignment. It is the online learning process. And one of the strategy is flipped classroom, in which you provide the class material before the class. जो टॉपिक आपने पढ़ाना है वो पहले से दे दें, बच्चे पहले से पढ़ के आए. In the class, you do the discussion on that topic. Every student should explain his perspective on the topic. This is the concept of flipped classroom. In the flipped classroom, also students are engaged because the instruction material is provided before the class, and the class time is only used for collaboration, analysis, for activities of writing. उसमें engage रहता है. So it involves the maximum participation of learners, because the students are already familiar with the topics. Instead, despite of listening to the instructors, they are actually have time to analyze the topic, the write-up, and they have to revise their own working. Similarly, there are digital feedback system, that if someone has give you assignment, and you can give you the online feedback to them. So they are more focused, they are more targeted response to student writing. And in digital environments, they are already present. The instructor can comment on them. The instructor can track the revision. If they share document, you can track that how much the draft is evolved. So no need to have a physical section with students, physical time. In the class time, you can evolve the document, you can track the revisions, you can have comments on the drafts. So this form of interaction make the learning visible, make the learning genuine. So next thing is collaborative learning, in which you ask the student to collaborate with each other. They should learn in form of, rather than learning alone, they should learn in form of peers. They should comment on each other work. So they should prepare the text together, they should analyze the text together, they should identify the evidence, they should discuss with each other. So this is how they will learn. Now the next is that if you get an output, how to assess that whether this is an AI generated content or the student own work. So this generative AI emergence forced the universities to think about that how we should assess the student academic writing. So what is the traditional assignment practice? That normally if a student submit the assignment, we assume that this is the student own work. However, that assignment the generative AI can produce within seconds. So this assumption is very complicated. In the classical environment, if you get an assignment from a student, you think that this is his own work. But if AI can generate this in with seconds, so this assumption is wrong. So now institutions are re-examining their relationship of assignments and their authorship and their academic integrity. Now, in the start, there are AI generated detection tools like Turnitin, and they are trying to identify whether the text is generated by human or machine. So, but the research say that the detection technologies are also not reliable, because they can produce both false positive and false negative. Like for example, they can say a text which is originally written by human is the machine generated text, and if a text is actually originally written by machine and the detection tool is saying this is written by human. So this is the limitation of detection tool if you want to detect AI using AI detection tool. So the scholars are arguing that the attempt of detecting AI is no need to focus. इसके ऊपर फोकस ना करें कि हम टेक्स्ट में से AI डिटेक्ट करें. We should think on how the assignments are designed, how the assignments are evolved. वही process oriented approach है. So now institutions are using some AI assessment technologies. AI को AI के through ही assess किया जा रहा है. So वो जो systems हैं, they are supporting grading, they are supporting the feedback, they are even detecting the plagiarism, but they have raised the concerns of transparency, fairness, reliability of automated, क्योंकि automated feedback system है, automated जो है वो evaluation है, so उसकी credibility के ऊपर भी question है. So AI enabled assessment, यानी if you are getting an output, an assignment, and you are asking and using AI to assess that content, so it should not replicate the original grading practice. It should not replicate the human assessment thinking, because we should ensure that who is accountable if the system generate wrong output, wrong assessments, who is going to be responsible. So what is the role of AI in assessments? So it should not replace AI judgment, it should facilitate and support the AI human assessment. Human evaluation should be there. Now AI tools, instructors are automating their routine tasks, like they are drafting and corrections. You give your draft, a student draft to the AI, that okay, find out the corrections, it will give you. But you should be conscious about these things, that it is not the substitute of human judgment. बहुत से डॉक्टर्स जो है ना स्टूडेंट के पूरे थीसिस उठा के AI को दे देते हैं, बहुत जाती करते हैं. So you should keep in mind that this AI based assessments are not the replacement of human judgment. So because qualities like arguments, originality, reasoning, it is difficult for machine to do these sort of skills. So the AI should supplement human evaluation, not replace. Now this is the scale what decide that how much and where AI should be allowed, and where and how much AI should be restricted. So this is a very challenging area to distinguish between acceptable use of AI and unacceptable use of AI. So traditional integrity policies are developed, and in which जो इसके अलावा एकेडमिक इंटेग्रिटी की पॉलिसीज हैं विदाउट एआई, उसमें ये एज्यूम किया जाता है कि बच्चे का एग्जाम है, मसलन बच्चों ने जो मिड टर्म दिए हैं, फाइनल टर्म दिए हैं, ये हम एज्यूम करते हैं ये बच्चे ने खुद ओरिजिनल बैठ कर लिखा है, ये एकेडमिक इंटेग्रिटी का पर्सपेक्टिव है. लेकिन अब यहाँ पर एआई इनेबल्ड एग्जामिनेशन असेसमेंट्स आ गई हैं, सो दिस कॉम्प्लिकेट्स दिस असम्पशंस. अब इस असम्पशन को हम थोड़ा सा चेंज करेंगे, बिकॉज लैंग्वेज असिस्टेंट ये देता है, स्ट्रक्चर सजेशंस ये देता है, इवन पूरे ड्राफ्ट ये आपको बना के दे देता है. सो अब ये जो कॉम्प्लेक्सिटी आ गई है, सो दिस रेज अ क्वेश्चन, और फॉर दैट रीजन एआई असेसमेंट स्केल इज डेवलप्ड बाय relevant experts. This framework do what it actually don't work in like a binary instruction that this is allowed and this is not allowed. This not work like this. It work in a continuum way. Continuum way means it works in the level. What is level 1, what is level 2, what is level 3, what is level 4, and what is level 5. So despite of making a clear distinction that this is allowed and this is not allowed, there is a levels of prohibited and permitted AI use. So these are 5 levels of integration, ranging from those sort of assignments that prohibit the AI entirely. No AI use is not allowed, and it ranges to those assignments in which the students are asked to collaborate with AI systems. So this is the framework. The first level is not to use AI, and the second level is you can use AI as a language input only. Third is AI for limited or for skill only for practice. Level 4 is AI assisted completion with critical evaluation. You get response from AI, but you have to critically analyze. And the last one is AI integration with advanced skills, means you are asked to use AI. Now, in the first, where AI is completely prohibited, here all the tasks should be completed without AI assistance, because what is the focus of the skill? The focus of the skill is, let's suppose, language skill, programming skill अगर आप develop करना चाहते हैं, तो you will not ask the student to generate a code from AI. Similarly, if the focus is on competencies, independent learning, you should not allow AI in there. For example, traditional exams, mid exam, final exam, assignment, quiz, in-class presentations, in-class comprehensions, critical thinking stuff, tasks, in सब के अंदर no need to use AI. Now, here you can use AI to generate, but you can augment it. So, in those skills, वहां पर जहां पर आपको comprehensions और analysis skill बढ़ानी होती है, तो वहां पर AI टेक्स्ट को आप एनालाइज करें, ऑगमेंट करें, कंप्रीहेंड करें, और इसकी भी एग्जांपल्स हैं. सिमिलरली level 3, where AI is used for limited, for practice, and so here the thing is that you have to reinforce something. आपने कोड की डिबगिंग करनी है या कोड को जो है चेंज करना है थोड़ा सा, सो अकॉर्डिंग टू द पर्सपेक्टिव आप वो वाली स्किल लाना चाहते हैं कि हाउ टू हैंडल एग्जिस्टिंग प्रोग्रामिंग स्ट्रक्चर्स. तो कंट्रोल इन्वायरमेंट के अंदर, सेमी कंट्रोल इन्वायरमेंट के अंदर, और डिस्कशंस आप एआई के अंदर अलाउड है. सिमिलरली फिर लेवल 4 है, फिर लेवल 5 है कि जहां पर आप एआई को यूज कर सकते हैं. आपने डेटा, अपने रिजल्ट्स निकाले हैं, रिजल्ट्स के इनसाइट्स आप निकाल सकते हैं, यानी उसमें एनालिसिस इतना पर्सपेक्टिव नहीं है, लेकिन एनालिसिस निकालना है तो यू शुड आस्क एआई टू एनालाइज योर डेटा, एनालाइज योर प्रोजेक्ट्स, सो मेक गुड प्रेजेंटेशंस. ओके, तो इस किस्म की चीजों के लिए यू शुड आस्क द स्टूडेंट टू मस्ट यूज एआई. These levels of not use AI, limited use of AI, integrated use of AI, complete use of AI, these levels are also mapped with the Bloom taxonomy. That if you are focusing on the remembering foundation knowledge, so this level of Bloom taxonomy, you should not allow AI. But if you are going to the understanding conversation, for example, of text, is a topic is not clear, they can use AI to elaborate it with the help of examples. For example, if you are applying, so in applying you can also use limited use of AI, controlled use of AI. And if you are using analysis and evaluation, you should use integrated approach, human plus AI. And the last, in which you are creating something, good presentations, good solutions, or project outlines, so you should ask AI brainstorming sessions. So this this model actually reduced the student confusion, okay, where I have to use and where I don't have to use. Rather than he will focus on his intellectual work. So this framework also emphasized to align your AI policies, your course content, course structure on this framework. So this framework distinguishes between different AI tools that support the AI use and where you are not allowed to use the AI. So, for example, if the target is to assess the independent reasoning, you cannot allow AI. But if the goal is to evaluation, analysis, so it required collaboration. So rather than collaborating with humans, you can also collaborate with AI. Okay, so it will give you a broader shift of thinking. Rather than treating AI as a threat to academics, we should recognize AI as the legitimate educational purpose if we use AI thoughtfully. So, so the thing is that the presence of AI is not threatful, but the degree at which students remain intellectually engaged with AI is more important. Student can explore ideas, but he should develop his own arguments. So it is the skillful for learning. However, if the student rely on AI without critically evaluating and revising, so the learning will become disconnected. So another advantage is that that it allow instructor to communicate with students, communicate with AI tools, asking the student that this is allowed, this is not allowed. So if you clearly enlist the expectations, student will better in a position to show his strength, and he can take the technological assistance, AI assistance within the framework of the goal. So, so these are different type of strategies. This is the summary of the session in which some practical strategies are highlighted. We should more focus on teaching and learning to ensure the intellectual integrity, because AI is nowadays widely available. These strategies what are enlisted here, there are both digital pedagogical research and also focusing on assessments. Now, if you think about what is the general perspective, that single policy is not enough. Sometime one policy is good, sometime other policy is good. For example, where you have to do collaborative annotations, it will help the student to understand how the text is constructed. Process-based assessment, it will develop the ideas across graph. Oral explanation, you ask the student to explain, to reflect on his work. This strategy is to articulate the reasoning behind their draft. If you are focusing on reflective commentary, student will encourage metacognitive awareness that how the draft is evolved. ट्रांसपेरेंसी स्टेटमेंट की स्ट्रेटेजी अगर आप अपनाते हैं, इट विल प्रमोट honesty बच्चों के अंदर ये ले आते हैं that how they are using. Similarly, so these are different strategies. It depends on how and what is the need. So there are some classroom activities, some examples. जूम कर लेते बस. Okay. So in this part, we will discuss some classroom activities that you can put in your teaching strategies in your classroom environment, because the native AI should not be treated as a threat to academic writing, and it is not solely a shortcut to student rely on this uncritically. It is a more productive approach is to treat AI as an object of analysis within the writing classroom. Student examine the output of AI, they should able to test the credibility and reliability of the AI produced information. The student should able to reflect on the prompt, instruction, and the feedback they are getting. So they will start seeing more clearly on the academic writing which actually requires. So this is the goal in mind. Now these are the practical classroom exercises. It will help the students to how students should clearly aware of their AI usage. आप ये एक्टिविटी एक एक्टिविटी भी क्लास में कर सकते हैं पूरे सेशन में, कोई एक एक्टिविटी, और इसमें से 2-3 एक्टिविटीज आप सेलेक्ट कर लें, क्योंकि अगर in your course if the students are using AI extensively, repeatedly, you should follow few of these strategies so that students have an idea in their mind that whatever output they are getting, how to refine it, how to make it intellectually sound. Okay. So these are few activities. For example, one of the activity is prompting AI for an essay. Second activity is destroy the AI essay. Third activity is AI debate, hallucination hunt, AI revision workshop, AI summary check, AI paraphrase critique. So what skill? This activity will enhance the prompting capability of students. This activity will improve the argument analysis capability. AI debate will increase the argumentation capability. Hallucination activity will enhance the research literacy, that how to find out the reliable and actual source. AI revision will improve the editing skills. Summary check will enhance the reading and comprehension skill, and AI paraphrase critique will enhance the paraphrasing skill. Similarly, there are other, and the minimum time required for this activity, and what is the heading? What is the goal? The goal is to understand how prompt shape the AI output. Here the goal is to identify the weakness in the output of the students. So we will discuss every activity in detail now. The first one is prompting AI for an academic essay. Now in this activity, what is the objective? The objective is that students should learn how to prompt, how the prompts are influencing the output, how the prompts are influencing the quality of outputs. So what is the material? You have an essay topic, you give a topic to the students, okay? Then you make a rubric to assess the essay, or you ask the student to write on a certain topic, and then there is a access to an AI tool. So what is the procedure? First of all, there is a writing task, you should introduce it, you should give the question, and also explain the rubric to them, that this is the task and this is how I will judge you. For example, you should give the question that should universities restrict the use of generative AI in academic writing? Explain that the AI response will be evaluated according to some standard used for student essays. So what the student should do? Student should give this question to the AI with a formal prompt. Okay, students should design a prompt for it, and then students should get the feedback, and whatsoever is the standard parameter of an essay, standard parameters. So if you are not giving essay, you are giving some problem solving. So what is the standard rubric? You will ask that the output is of AI, but I will check it on human standards, standard evaluation parameters. So what they will do, they will generate the AI, the students will enter their own prompts, they will mention the prompt also, and they will also mention the response. The system will generate a paragraph for them. Now the point is that you will evaluate the output in 10 minutes using the rubrics. What the students will do, students will identify the weakness in their AI response. For example, आपने एक rubric बनाया है और वो जो AI ने response दिया है, उस rubric के मुताबिक वो किस कहाँ कितने marks उसको मिल रहे हैं. So students will identify that according to the rubric, according to the standard evaluation, the response of AI is missing here, missing here, missing here. Now, so now what the student will do, because the first output the student get from the prompt is not according to the standard rubric, so now the student will revise the prompt, and then because now the student have the idea that this output, this portion is missing, this point is missing in the response, now he will refine the prompt and he will generate a second response. Now the class will compare the two versions and discuss what is improved. This activity is discussed in this paper. It is 2024 paper, and this is a useful activity in getting asking the student, learning the students how the prompts influence the academic writing. Next activity is जी आ रहे हैं, इसमें प्रॉम्प्ट्स की भी एक्सरसाइज है, ठीक है. ओके, डिस्ट्रॉय द एआई एसे. सो स्टूडेंट विल आइडेंटिफाई वीकनेस इन द एआई जनरेटेड एसे एकेडमिक राइटिंग. ये तो वही हो गया, ठीक है. ओके ना नीचे करें, नहीं ये दूसरा है पीछे. सो व्हाट यू विल डू इन दिस, यू विल हैव एआई ऐसे. आपने एक टॉपिक पे एक आउटकम एआई से पहले से करवा लिया है, घर से आप तैयार करके लाए, बच्चों को नहीं बताया कि ये मैंने एआई से आउटपुट निकाला है, ठीक है. यू ब्रिंग एन ऐसे, यू गिव टू स्टूडेंट्स विद द रूब्रिक और उसके एवेल्युएशन चेकलिस्ट आपने दे दिया है. नाउ व्हाट इज द स्टेप? फर्स्ट स्टेप इज जनरेट द ऐसे बिफोर द क्लास, एट होम, इन योर ऑफिस. यूज एनी ऑफ द एआई टूल टू जनरेट एन आउटपुट. जरूरी नहीं है कि ऐसे, you can generate a solution of code, a problem, anything. Okay, so AI will produce an output for you according to your course related question. So you will not tell the student that this output is from AI. You will not tell the students. Okay, next step 2. So you will ask student to read this output. What's output? जो आप ने बच्चों को नहीं बताया कि एआई का आउटपुट है, आपने बच्चों को दिया, आपको यू आस्क देम टू रीड इट. सो स्टूडेंट विल रीड एंड व्हाटएवर they will read, it is a strong response, academically sound. They will do a group analysis and they will evaluate the essay, the output according to the rubric checklist. आपने एक rubric और checklist provide किया होगा, वो उस essay को उसके साथ compare करेंगे. Or they will identify the problem in the essay, where the evidence is weak, where the argument is weak, where the information is missing, where the information is incorrect. So then the students will do discussion on it. Okay, now student will make some groups and they will evaluate essay according to the rubric and checklist. Next, the student will they will discuss with each other that whatever weakness they have identified, like they will identify some vague claims, they will identify some repetition, they will identify कि यहाँ पे evidence provide नहीं किया गया. So now student will do what? Student will write their own essay now. Student will write their own essay to strengthen the outcome. Whatever weakness they have identified in the essay you have provided, which is actually AI generated essay, they will make their own answer. आपने एक problem दिया है और उन्होंने उसमें से issues निकाले हैं. Then the student identify the issues and then write his own answer. So this is how at the end the student at the end you will reveal that this essay was actually AI generated. Next, this activity was highlighted in this research paper in which they have focused that how to how the students can identify weakness in AI generated context. Next. Next activity is AI debate. So students should practice evaluating AI generated arguments. For example, you introduce a question to them in your topic, whatsoever is your subject. मैंने आपको कहा ये जो 10-12 एक्टिविटीज और इस तरह की सैकड़ों और एक्टिविटीज हार्वर्ड यूनिवर्सिटी और इन सब यूनिवर्सिटियों ने अपने जो फैकल्टी सपोर्ट प्लेटफॉर्म्स हैं वहां पे दी हुई हैं कि आप एआई के दौर में पहले अपने स्टूडेंट्स को ट्रेन करें कि कितना और कैसे एआई यूज करेंगे. तो ये उस तरह की एक्टिविटीज हैं. So these are few activities. There are a lot of more activities. Link is provided in the presentation. But in this activity, और आप जरूरी नहीं है कि सारी एक्टिविटीज करें. मैंने आपको कहा है कि you can do 1 or 2 activities per semester if there is extensive use of AI in your course. So in this activity, what is happening? The objective is that students should practice evaluating the AI arguments. So you introduce a question and you present a controversial topic, a challenging topic to students according to your course. For example, the topic is, should university allow generative AI in academic writing? It is some people will say yes, some people will say no, it should not allowed. Okay, तो आप अपने कोर्स के मुताबिक इस तरीके से कोई चैलेंजिंग और कंट्रोवर्शियल टॉपिक निकालें. So definitely there are 2 arguments. One will say yes, one will say no, one will support, one will oppose. Now you divide the class in 3 groups. One group which is supporting, one group which is opposing, and the third group who will assess both. दोनों के arguments को वो assess करेंगे. Now group present their arguments and the third group is watching them, evaluating them, identifying and noting that किसका argument strong है और किसका argument weak है, और then they will reflect on that how the arguments were convincing, or and they will discuss how the human writer might strengthen them, because whatever arguments they get from AI, that what are the pros of if we use AI in academic writing, what are the cons if we use AI. So you should then put the human input. Then now put the human, maybe AI missed some very important perspective. So you will put the human perspective to strengthen them. So this is present in this Harvard book of Center of Teaching and Learning. Next, this activity. This is AI hallucination hunt. Students still think that whatever they are getting is a reliable piece of information. So this is how students will learn that how to verify the AI generated information and citations. So what you will do, you will give them a research paragraph with citations. Okay, but this citations is AI generated. You should bring this paragraph before class. आप AI से एक टॉपिक पे एक्टिविटी करवा लें और विद साइटेशंस करवाएं, इन टेक्स्ट साइटेशंस. AI को कहें कि एक ऐसा पैराग्राफ बना दे, साथ सोर्स भी मेंशन करें, ठीक है, तो वो आपको बना देगा. So you should bring that paragraph before class, prepare the paragraph before class. In this paragraph is not only paragraph, it contains some sources, citations be given हैं. Okay, so the next step is that you should present this paragraph to students, and you should ask the student that this paragraph is developed by AI. Last time जो आपने किया तो आपने students को नहीं बताया कि ये AI से. Now you tell students that this is AI generated paragraph and the information may be incorrect, and then students will investigate this paragraph, that whether these cited sources are reliable or not. They are present on Google Scholar or any other digital repositories. They will find out the report that what they have discovered. Maybe they found incorrect authors के नाम ही fake हैं, fabricated journals हैं, articles present ही नहीं हैं. ये वो सारी list of references, list of citations से ये explore कर लेंगे. So then you will ask the students to rewrite the paragraph. You will ask the student, okay, rewrite this paragraph in your own words, but with verified sources. but with verified. So now student will start searching with verified sources. So this is how student will learn that what is hallucination. So this is also presented in research labs. This is the source. Next activity, AI revision workshop. Students should learn how to revise and improve the prompts, AI generated writing. Here you will generate AI, generate a paragraph using AI, and then in the response of a question. So you have an essay question, you have a task. Now student should identify the weakness. Where is the language weak? Where is the repetition? Unsupported claims. Student will revise the paragraph to improve the clarity, argument strength, and specificity. These are the features of prompt. The prompt should be clear. The prompt should be simple, and it should be specific. So whatsoever prompt they give in the start, they revise. There is some issues in them. Then you revise your paragraph by giving a new prompt. So then whatever you get the second response, you compare both responses. कि पहले prompt में आपने जो response दिया वो कैसा था और जब second response आया तो वो कैसा था. और ये भी यूनिवर्सिटी ऑफ सिडनी का जो एआई लिटरेसी रिसोर्स है, ये एक्टिविटी वहां पर मौजूद है, ये वहां से ली गई है. नेक्स्ट, AI summary check. Now, in this activity, students will evaluate the accuracy of AI generated summaries. Now, you will give the student an academic article, and student will read a short section of the research article. ये genuine original research paper होगा. And then you will ask the AI to summarize the paragraph. Okay, and then there is a paragraph in the research paper, and you take that paragraph and give to AI that, okay, give the summary of this. So then you compare the text that, and you already read the paper. You know what is in the paper actually. You are human. You are more better intelligent than AI. So you know which ideas the AI is not summarizing, where the AI is mispresenting. For example, they are misjudging the graph, misjudging the table, misjudging the sentence, and sometimes it's oversimplified. So now what you will do, you will take that summary and you will improve that summary. So this activity is again present in this research paper, which is of 2025. Next. हाँ, ये क्योंकि ये ऐसा एरा है कि यहाँ पर आप एआई को रोक नहीं सकते, तो उसके यूज को आप जेन्युइन कर सकते हैं. तो स्टूडेंट से ये एक्टिविटीज ड्यूरिंग द सेमेस्टर एक आध एक्टिविटी इसमें से करा लें, ताकि उनको आइडिया हो जाए कि एआई को हमने अच्छे तरीके से कैसे यूज करना है. नेक्स्ट एक्टिविटी इज एआई paraphrase critique. We evaluate the AI generated paraphrases and learn how to produce accurate academic paraphrasing. और यहाँ पर हम एक पैराग्राफ जो है वो चाहिए हमें किसी भी एकेडमिक पेपर से, और एक एआई टूल चाहिए. व्हाट इज द प्रोसीजर? फॉर एग्जांपल, यू गेट द ओरिजिनल टेक्स्ट एंड उसका एक पैराग्राफ रिकॉर्डिंग अकॉर्डिंग टू योर कोर्स टॉपिक. आपके कोर्स से रिलेटेड आप कोई भी रिसर्च पेपर का एक पैराग्राफ उठा लें, और आज यू आस्क स्टूडेंट टू रीड द पैराग्राफ एंड क्लियरली आइडेंटिफाई द मेन आइडिया. आप उसमें से बताएं कि इस पैराग्राफ में मेन आइडिया क्या है. सो then you ask AI to paraphrase it. There is a difference between paraphrasing and summarization. So here now you will ask AI to paraphrase this. So whatever it is paraphrased, you will display the paraphrase to the class, and then you compare the both texts. One is the actual paragraph, and one is the paraphrased paragraph, and then student will compare both. The AI generated paraphrase version and the original passage. So they will clearly see that where the meaning is changed, where the vocabulary is replaced without clarity, where the paraphrase is too close to original wording. So the student will spot that where the paraphrasing is good, where the paraphrasing is not good. So this activity So what the student will then do, he will then improve the paraphrasing. Student will write their own paraphrase. ये original article है, you should give the paper to student and write their own paraphrasing. उसको देखते हुए ये खुद paraphrase करे. So what the student make their own paraphrasing, because now student are well trained. Now student know that AI paraphrase paragraph, what are the problems in the AI paraphrase paragraph, and what should I make, should take care of the. So it will, the student is more aware now, so he will write more better language. Now you will discuss that what is effective paraphrase and why the AI paraphrases sometimes fail to capture the original meaning accurately. यानी एक आपने ओरिजिनल टेक्स्ट लिया और आपने AI से उसको पैराफ्रेज करवाया, फिर आपने दोनों को कंपेयर किया. You will see the issues in the paraphrase, AI paraphrase table. So this is also proved. यूएस की यूनिवर्सिटी है, उनके ऑनलाइन रेटिंग लैब के अंदर ये एक्टिविटी मौजूद है. Next is AI literature review builder. In this, you will ask the student to evaluate AI generated suggestions to organize a literature review. So you give a research question, you give a AI tool, and you give access to academic databases. Now, what is the procedure? You give the research problem, research question, and for example, the problem is how is generative AI changing academic writing in universities. इस problem पे आपने literature जमा करना है. तो AI will give you suggestions, and AI will suggest some themes, some sections of literature review on your topic, and it will give you an outline that on this topic, in this topic, what could be your outline of literature review. So then what you will do, you will evaluate the structure. जो whatsoever outline AI is suggested to you, you should evaluate it in groups, that whether these themes make sense. जो outline आपके topic पे AI ने बना के दिए कि इसके मुताबिक outline आपका ये आता है, तो आप उसको analyze करें कि whether it makes sense. So whether they are logical, whether or not some themes are missing, or whether some ideas are overlapped, because you only give a prompt to the AI to make an outline. What actually is your requirement, it is in your mind. So when the outline comes in front of you, you can better, or your supervisor or the teacher can better identify that which theme is missing, which is not required. So what then you will do, you will ask the student to search libraries, search the Google to locate the actual sources that support one of your themes. Next. तो आपके टॉपिक और क्वेश्चन से रिलेटेड जो जो पेपर्स आ जाएंगे वो आप जमा कर लें और उसको आप फाइंडिंग्स को रिपोर्ट कर लें. सो देन यू कैन एक्सप्लेन कि keeping in your mind the outline you get from AI, that is helpful, or there is a need to improve that outline using the real resource. जब आपने real resource से कुछ papers को लिया तो आपको पता चला ये outline इतनी बेहतर थी, इतनी नहीं थी. So this actually is the AI literature review builder. Next. AI versus human peer review. Student compare AI generated feedback with human peer feedback. आप एक स्टूडेंट का पैराग्राफ दें, AI टूल यूज करें. So the first step is to provide a draft paragraph. Student give the paragraph from his essay, and AI will generate a feedback on the paragraph, and then feedback may focus on clarity, organization, and grammar, and then put this review of AI on the side. You give the paragraph to AI, review it. It gives the AI give you the review. Then you ask the human to review. Student exchange the drafts and then provide feedback to partner. So they will comment. The student will comment on the paragraph by themselves. The student will also focus on clarity, argument, and evidence. And then you will compare that what is the feedback of human and what is the feedback and review of the AI generated text. They will compare both feedbacks of the same paragraph. एक ही paragraph को अगर AI रिव्यू करे उसी पैराग्राफ को अगर ह्यूमन रिव्यू करे तो उसमें उसके रिव्यू में क्या पैटर्न है. सो व्हाट दे विल थिंक दैट व्हिच एस्पेक्ट्स आर यूजफुल, व्हिच वन इज डीपर, कौन सा वाला जो रिव्यू था वो ज्यादा डीपर था और कौन सा वाला ज्यादा जो था वो शेलो था. So then you will revise the paragraph based on the feedback, and you will think which perspective is more useful. So this is also present in Stanford Teaching Commons. So there are similar other strategies. This is about AI transparency reflection. There is activity number 11. अच्छा, इसका रिसोर्स दिखा दे जरा, एक्टिविटी नंबर 10 का. So this is also the resource from where this activity is made. This is the paper. Next. Okay, so there are some creative AI related exercises and activities. I've told you that if there is extensive use of AI in your course, students are using, you should follow these exercises. You should ask the students to go to these platforms, design your activity. जिस तरह मैंने आपको चंद एग्जांपल बताई कि आपने सामने एक ऑब्जेक्टिव लिखें, कुछ मटेरियल दें, कुछ एक्टिविटीज ग्रुप्स में परफॉर्म करते हैं, इंडिविजुअल परफॉर्म करते हैं, एंड डिस्कस द आउटपुट. तो देयर आर लॉट ऑफ मोर एक्टिविटीज जो हार्वर्ड यूनिवर्सिटीज ने 2023 से 2025 के दरमियान अपनी क्लासेस में बच्चों से करवाई है, इररिस्पेक्टिव ऑफ द डोमेन, चाहे वो कंप्यूटर डोमेन के हैं या किसी भी डोमेन के हैं, उन सब से ये एक्टिविटीज उन्होंने कराई हैं. तो इसमें आपको नजर आएंगी लैंग्वेज वाली एक्टिविटीज भी, इवन हमारे न्यूरल नेटवर्क की एक्टिविटीज भी इसमें है. मैंने सबको एक्सप्लोर किया है. न्यूरल नेटवर्क की बहुत सी एक्टिविटीज हैं, प्रोग्रामिंग की बहुत सी एक्सरसाइजेज हैं, और क्या है फ्रॉम द एआई पर्सपेक्टिव, दैट हाउ एफिशिएंटली, हाउ इफेक्टिवली एआई कैन बी यूज्ड. सो these activities are emerging researches on AI assisted writing, teaching pedagogies, collaborative text analysis, AI aware assessment designs. So these are these prompt design, for example, one of the activities is prompt design activity, which is presented in this research paper, because they think that students are using ChatGPT as a writing tool. So they are focusing that students should support the broader claim. Students should interact with AI language learning, and they should compose the process. Similarly, the essay critique is presented in this article. Or next, hallucination की जो activity है, it is also present in this article. Similarly, नीचे आ जाए, एनोटेशन एंड कोलैबोरेटिव जीन एक्टिविटी है. ये वाला मॉडल जो है, पर्क्स इज द पर्सन हु डेवलप दिस एआई फ्रेमवर्क, एआई असेसमेंट फ्रेमवर्क. दिस फ्रेमवर्क एक्चुअली सपोर्ट द यूज ऑफ एआई. जो प्रीवियसली मैंने आपको एक टेबल बताया है कि देयर आर 5 लेवल्स ऑफ एआई यूजेज इन टीचिंग एंड लर्निंग. लेवल 1 एआई प्रोहिबिटेड, लेवल 2 few things you can use AI but with human intervention. Third, blended approach, both human and AI combined give you a good output. Fourth, in which majorly AI but the human under the human supervision. And the last one, level 5, in which you have to force the students to use AI. So these levels are presented. Now the document I have focused on these activities. They have said there's the drafting assistance and the structures assistance is taken from AI and Claude का ये वाला वर्जन और GPT का ये वाला वर्जन किस लिए यूज किया है? To draft, to get the outlines. Okay, पीछे चलिए प्रेजेंटेशन पे. So this is the main document which just released University of Canada 2026. They highlights that what is the way of integrating AI in classroom in teaching and learning, and these are other references which I used in preparing the slides. And this is the scale, AI assessment scale for higher education across the world 2024. जो करिकुलम डिजाइन रीडिजाइन हो रहा है AI इनेबल्ड करिकुलम, उसमें ये असेसमेंट स्कोर आ रहा है, ठीक है। और इरिस्पेक्टिव ऑफ द डोमेन, चाहे वो सोशल साइंसेज हैं या मैनेजमेंट साइंसेज हैं या इंजीनियरिंग साइंसेज हैं या कंप्यूटिंग डोमेन है, ये स्किल सबके लिए है। उसमें इवन ये जो स्केल है, इट इज आल्सो मैप्ड विद द ब्लूम टेक्सोनॉमी, कि आप अगर रिमेंबरिंग और कंपेयरिंग और इंटरप्रेटिंग और ओरिजिनेटिंग किस लेवल के लिए कितना एआई अलाउ है, किस बूम टेक्सोनॉमी के लेवल के लिए किस लेवल ऑफ एआई को आप यूज कर सकते हैं, वो भी इस पेपर के अंदर है और मैंने अपनी स्लाइड्स में भी इसको प्रोवाइड किया है। एंड दीज आर अदर रेफरेंसेस। नेक्स्ट, थैंक यू वेरी मच। एनी क्वेश्चन एंड डिस्कशन, यू वेलकम।
करेक्ट है?
हाँ करेक्ट है।
एल नहीं है इसके अंदर?
नहीं 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 नहीं, इसी तरह हाँ इसी।
आज की डिस्कशन का मेन थीम तो ये बनता है कि हमें स्टूडेंट को डिस्करेज करने या एनकरेज करना चाहिए कि एआई को यूज करें, लेकिन उसको स्ट्रीमलाइन देना चाहिए सर के इस तरीके से।
हाँ बिल्कुल बिल्कुल इफेक्टिव हो जाए, ठीक है। तो बस थोड़ा सा हमारे लिए मुश्किल है, टीचर का काम थोड़ा सा बढ़ गया है, तो वो बढ़ने के रिस्पॉन्स में एआई ने आपको फैसिलिटेट भी कई जगहों पर किया है कि यू कैन प्रिपेयर योर लेक्चर्स, और अपनी जो एंगेजमेंट्स हैं, एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव एंगेजमेंट्स, उनको एआई इनेबल्ड। तो उसमें भी बहुत सर्वेज हुए हैं और उन्होंने ये कहा है कि इफ द टीचर्स यूज एआई इफेक्टिवली दे कैन सेव 30 to 40% ऑफ देयर वर्किंग टाइम। वो सर्वे भी मैंने इसमें पढ़ा है और उन्होंने कहा है कि ये ऑलमोस्ट अगर 50 आवर्स टीचर यूज करता है टीचिंग, जिसमें लेक्चर प्रिपरेशन भी है और लेक्चर डेमोस्ट्रेशन भी है, स्टूडेंट एंगेजमेंट्स भी हैं और डिपार्टमेंटल टास्क भी हैं, 50 घंटे बनते हैं पर वीक ऑन एवरेज डेवलप्ड कंट्रीज के अंदर। तो वो कहते हैं इसमें से अगर 30-40% आप निकाल लें तो ऑलमोस्ट 14 आवर्स, 13 to 14 आवर्स you can save if the teachers start using AI in their things. Okay, अब वो जो 13-14 hours आपको सेव हुए हैं, और उन्होंने कहा कि how to use this, you can use it for your personal development, for giving more time to your family. अब ये कैसा है, अब ये सर्वे किया उन्होंने डेवलप कंट्रीज के अंदर, वो टीचर जिन्होंने AI यूज किया है और उन्होंने बाकायदा हर चीज का बताया कि लेक्चर प्रिपरेशन में 10 घंटे से 5 घंटे हो गए हैं, पहले जो लेक्चर 10 घंटे में आप 5 घंटे में प्रिपेयर हो। इस तरीके से स्टूडेंट एंगेजमेंट, स्टूडेंट फीडबैक्स जो पहले 8-8 घंटे के होते थे, अब वो 5-5 घंटे में हो गए हैं पर वीक। तो इस तरीके से उन्होंने निकाले कि 50 घंटों में 13 घंटे आपने बचा लिए हैं। हाँ बिल्कुल। तो दिस इज हाउ कि टीचर का रोल इसलिए चैलेंजिंग हो गया है कि ये न्यू सेट ऑफ स्किल्स आ गए हैं और इसी में आपने सस्टेन रखना है खुद को। सो देन यू हैव टू मेक योर स्टूडेंट यूज टू इट कि आप अपनी you should take control of it, you should architect of the environment, you should ask which AI tool you have to use, which you have। आप खामोश नहीं रह सकते कि सर आप रेत में डाल लें कि बस कुछ भी नहीं हो रहा, ठीक है ना। so you should actively, because at the start it is changing, evolving, you should be more vigilant।
आजकल के आ रहे हैं, दे आर ऑलरेडी मच फेमिलियर विद द एआई। तो जब हमने एक ऐसी जनरेशन के साथ डील करना है जो कि हमसे ज़्यादा नॉलेजेबल है, क्योंकि नॉलेज की अगर हम बात करें ना तो देयर इज़ अ वास्ट अमाउंट ऑफ नॉलेज दे ऑलरेडी नो बिफोर अस, बिफोर हैंड। अगर एक बच्चा प्रोग्रामिंग की क्लास लेने आता है तो मोस्ट ऑफ द टाइम उसको प्रोग्रामिंग की बहुत सारी चीज़ों का पता होता है, और उसमें फिर उसके लिए क्लास इसलिए भी बोरिंग हो जाती है कि जब हम उसे पढ़ाने लगते हैं तो हम अपने कन्वेंशनल मेथड्स यूज़ करते हैं, और बच्चे को लगता है कि जो काम मैं 2 मिनट में करके बाकी टाइम जो है उसमें कोई और काम कर सकता हूँ वो मेरा वेस्ट हो रहा है, और इसी वजह से दे गॉट मोस्ट ऑफ द टाइम डिस्ट्रैक्टेड, दे आर नॉट इंटरेस्टेड इन द क्लासेस। तो तो मे बी शायद इस वजह से है कि हमें बीइंग अ टीचर जो है इन स्किल्स को लर्न करना चाहिए, एटलीस्ट हमें उस लेवल पे या उनसे अहेड होना चाहिए ताकि हम उनको एंगेज रख सकें क्लास में।
बिल्कुल, दैट्स व्हाई आपको सबसे पहले तो यू हैव टू रीडिजाइन योर कोर्स कंटेंट, टीचिंग स्ट्रेटजीज, और वो जो लेवल्स हैं उसको आइडेंटिफाई करना है कि आपने अपने कोर्स में ये शामिल करना है कि कहाँ पे एआई आपने प्रमोट करना है, कहाँ पर आपने इंटीग्रेटेड अप्रोच के साथ जाना है, कहाँ पर आपने एआई जो है उसको रोकना है। तो इस तरीके से स्टूडेंट जो है ना वो उनके लिए एक गाइडलाइन होगी कि यहाँ पर अब मैं विदाउट एआई काम करूंगा। आपकी ह्यूमन थिंकिंग होगी, इंटेलेक्चुअल थिंकिंग होगी, फाउंडेशन नॉलेज है, ठीक है, क्रिटिकल एनालिसिस है, और जहाँ पे कोई कोलेबोरेशन है और आपने कोई कंपैरिजन वगैरह करना है, और जहाँ पे अलाउड है, लर्निंग आउटकम अलाउ करता है, स्टूडेंट की नीड अलाउ करती हैं, टॉपिक की जो लर्निंग आउटकम है वो अलाउ करता है, सो यू कैन अलाउ, ठीक है। तो उसको आपने सबसे पहले कोर्स को रीवैम्प करना है अपने तमाम कोर्सेज को, ताकि आप टॉपिक बाय टॉपिक चलें, ठीक है। वो क्लासिकल वे ऑफ टीचिंग अब नहीं है कि आप पढ़ाएं तो वही होगा, स्टूडेंट कहेगा कि ये तो मुझे 2 मिनट में यही बता देता है। इससे बहुत अच्छे तरीके से विद हेल्प ऑफ मोर बेटर एग्जांपल्स में ये टॉपिक यही से समझ सकता हूं। सो दिस इज चैलेंज, यू हैव टू चेंज योर स्ट्रेटजीज। और इस पूरे डॉक्यूमेंट के अंदर यही उन्होंने हाईलाइट किया है कि ग्लोबली क्या प्रैक्टिसेस हो रही हैं, टीचर्स, यूनिवर्सिटी की फैकल्टीज इन द डेवलप्ड कंट्रीज, इन द स्टैंडर्ड यूनिवर्सिटीज क्या प्रैक्टिसेस यूनिवर्सिटीज ले रही हैं विद एआई इनेबल्ड टीचिंग एंड लर्निंग। ठीक है, थैंक यू वेरी मच ऑल ऑफ यू। आप लोगों ने मुसलसल सुना, अपनी क्लासेस छोड़ के आए, कुछ लोग शुरू से बैठे हुए थे, कुछ लोग दरमियान में आए। बहुत शुक्रिया आप सब लोगों का, थैंक यू।